After two titans of beat-em-up gaming kicked off the Streets series, a third entry came along in 1994, showing a lot of exciting stuff. This was only a year before Sega would jump into the next generation, so this game had to really stretch the Genesis in order to achieve its visuals, but it never sacrifices the series staple amazing performance for fancy effects. The game is the first not to be an arcade port in the series since the original, and certainly felt like a more solid console title. It looks amazing, feels amazing, uses each mechanic well, and is the most fleshed out experience of the trilogy. The story is legitimately awesome, taking elements from Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Terminator, and the rest of the Streets franchise to make a truly unique and awesome setup. The feel of each stage is even more distinct since each level is way longer than before, which may hurt the multiplayer a little bit, but it makes this a far more complete experience as a single-player game. The game itself is more mechanically impressive than ever before, more wacky and varied than ever before, and has way more content to sink your teeth into than ever before. All of this makes Streets of Rage 3 an exciting game before you even start playing. How is it mechanically? You guessed it. It doesn't disappoint. You now have more moves to pull off while running, a move to dodge roll up and down, which will save you many times, new specials, more refined grabbing and moves in general, and a complete upgrade to jump attacks too. A single boss fight will force you to dodge, jump, perfectly time a run attack to dunk under something, and use every different button on the control pad to just barely squeeze by. There are some annoying parts still, and when you feel like you aren't getting to use those mechanics enough, it can be discouraging, but most of the time you feel like you're just kicking butt and taking names. The game has a lot more character too, with awesome stage hazards, constantly changing and hilarious enemy designs and names, beautiful level backdrops, and astounding boss fights. It looks great, plays great, runs great, feels great, and has an awesome story. The game has many different areas for the player to explore in each level, and there are more intense foes. If I had to pick, I'd say that this can be the hardest Streets of Rage game, but also the easiest. If you master every mechanic, you will just destroy this game, and it will feel magnificent. But if you try to just ram through it like you sometimes have to in the genre, you'll be a wreck. The difficulty feels the most solid and satisfactory due to this, because it almost always feels like you could have done something better to avoid a death, and never like the game is throwing 16-bit baloney your way every second. The enemy variety issue from Streets 2 is fixed here, and there are tons of awesome foes to go up against, all of which you'll get enough one-on-one time with to find out what makes them tick. The game is overall just the complete package with perfect difficulty, stellar gameplay, astounding visuals, and music. Yeah, while I can play this game, look at it, and watch the cutscenes and say it's a masterpiece of game design for the era, the music isn't too great. I'm really sorry if you love this soundtrack, but it just sounds like too many sounds thrown together at once, and I wish that each song was split in half. It's overwhelming and busy by itself, which is disappointing, but while playing the game, it's quiet enough to serve as decent background music. I'm sad that the music is nowhere near the impeccable Streets 2 OST, but the gameplay, looks, and story all make me so overjoyed that I will forgive the annoying sounds and give it my first ever 5 out of 5 on a Sega Genesis game. Just play it already, will ya? 5 out of 5 Ballardians.